Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to episode 9. Now, last time, we hit level 3, and a lot of you had some very interesting advice about how we should handle our level ups. After looking at all the suggestions, I mostly ended up sticking with what I already had planned, with a few notable exceptions. For example, I ended up dropping the shield wall feat and picked up Precise Strike instead. We won't get a whole lot of use out of it right now, but once we hit level 5, we'll also be able to pick up Outflank. With both of those feats, we'll be able to gain significant damage and accuracy bonuses just by summoning monsters behind an opponent. Next we have Amiri, and I'll admit, I had to think about this one for a while. I got a lot of interesting suggestions, and for the most part, people seem to recommend focusing on offense over defense. After giving it some thought, I decided to go ahead and drop medium armor focus and pick up power attack instead. Combined with lethal stance, that'll give her a flat +3 bonus on damage rolls, but more importantly, it'll give her access to special feats like Cleave and Great Cleave at later levels. I am still concerned that she's a bit too much of a glass cannon, but I might try switching her over to heavy armor for a while, if I can find her something nice. Finally, we've got Lindsay. I was originally going to give her Precise Shot, but I ended up giving her Lingering Performance instead. It basically extends the duration of her bard songs by an extra 12 seconds, which makes them a lot more viable in combat. We'll still end up giving her the Precise Shot feat later down the line, but probably not until after she's taken a level of Rogue. That's basically it for level up, so let's get back to adventuring. Oh, one unexpected bonus of going up a level is that it apparently reset most of our daily abilities. We'll still have to rest to refill our spell slots, but otherwise we're recharged and ready to go.
I tire of waiting.
Okay, let's put together a game plan here. We definitely need to finish exploring the southeastern corner of the map here, including that trapped campsite and, the Kobold Cave. But first, let's have a look around on the north side of the map. We'll check out that hilltop, too. Those hunters did mention that there was some sort of giant wolf up in the northeast corner here. That'll be our primary goal, but afterwards we'll head back down here to tie up the last couple of loose ends. Oh, I also decluttered the map a bit by picking up all the spare loot that was lying around. I've dumped all the weapons and armor that we were carrying into a single pile here. That'll make it a bit easier to pick out the most valuable stuff when we head back to the trading post. Anyway, we've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. We've got some scattered corpses. That's not a good sign. The dead man's face is set in a mask of terror. The body is covered with burns. Well, that's not ominous or anything. Let's have a look around. Just a bunch of low-value vendor trash. Still, it's free.
It is done.
Okay, we've got an abandoned campsite, and another corpse. Let's carefully pick through the remains here. Oh, hey, we can spend the night here. In this camp surrounded by mysterious corpses. Great. There are enough supplies to encamp once. Yeah, I bet there are. Well, I'll admit, I'm a bit curious to see what would happen, but we don't really need to rest right now. Maybe we'll come back here a bit later, after we've set up a backup save.
No stopping now.
Oh, we've got another fight in progress. We'll go right for the caster. Nice. That's some easy experience points and some more vendor trash. Oh, and another masterwork crossbow. We can actually use that. I actually just equipped most of our party with backup ranged weapons, just in case. Unfortunately, Harem can't actually use bows, but he can definitely use a crossbow. There we go. Now we've got options if we ever run into something we don't want to get too close to.
Onwards.
Oh my. A thylacine. I have no idea what that is, but it kind of looks like a Tasmanian tiger.
Can you make an epic pose? I need
Whoa, okay. That's a lot more than I was expecting. I think this calls for a whole herd of glorious death ponies. Huh. Those things went down a lot easier than I was expecting. Well, that's fine. At least we've got a death herd to back us up if we get into another fight nearby. We've got some kobold corpses, but nothing we can actually loot.
What's that?
Oh, hold on. I guess I spoke too soon. A wand of ear-piercing scream. Not sure if I'll actually use that or not, but I'm certainly not complaining. We also got some alchemist's fire, which is less useful, but it might come in handy if we run into a troll.
March on.
Oh. Okay, we just ran into a giant centipede. I guess it must have been hiding in the bushes here. In fact, looking at the initiative counter, it looks like there's a whole bunch hiding nearby. Okay, I think we're clear. Those things go down easy, but they can be deceptively dangerous because... we've got a trap. This trap looks about as dangerous as the ones we ran into back near that campsite, but let's see if Octavia can handle it this time. Very nice. 45 experience points and one less thing to worry about. Oh, and we've got another one. Octavia? There we go.
No stopping now.
We've got some mites ahead. Hey guys, what's up? Queen Bada say let you in. You go Queen? Joy see her. Oh, okay. So the mites actually live in the Old Sycamore. That's convenient. We're not going to head in there just yet, but we'll visit Queen Bada once we've finished exploring the surface level. Ooh. An amulet of natural armor. We can definitely use that. It's only a +1, but that natural armor bonus will stack with just about anything. I'm tempted to give it to Retcon, but obviously, Amiri can make much better use of it. Okay, good find. Let's move on.
It is done.
I think we're pretty much done up here, but let's have one more look around just to make sure we're not missing anything. Yeah, that's what I thought. They like to hide treasure in every possible corner. There's a climb check. Oh, but there's the other end of it down there. I guess it's just a shortcut down the cliff. That would be useful if you wanted to avoid the traps and the giant centipedes, but obviously that's not an issue for us. We'll just double back around the long way. Whoops. And, that's what I get for not taking the shortcut.
Follow me.
Well, at least it's mostly harmless. Okay, let's go check out that wolf the hunters were talking about, and then we'll loop back along this path and check out the hill while we're at it.
No stopping now.
Oh, another elk. Don't hate me for this, but I really want that XP.
To victory! Legend. I'm good.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm still pretty sure these things were just feral death ponies in disguise. Those things can really mess up an ecosystem, so if you think about it, what we just did was actually pretty heroic.
I stand ready.
Let's move on to even more heroic feats.
Onwards.
Oh, and there's the wolves. We shouldn't have too much trouble with this fight, but we've got summons to spare, so let's summon up some nice, safe, domesticated death ponies.
We will prevail.
Let's just make sure we intercept all those wolves before they can reach our squishier party members. Nice. I guess the caution wasn't really warranted, but better safe than sorry. I can't help but notice that our quest didn't get updated though, so there must be even more wolves somewhere nearby.
What's that?
Aha! Just as we suspected. Kind of. Apparently the wolves have a leader, and its name is Graruk. It's not listed as hostile, so I guess we can try talking to it. But I'm guessing this isn't going to go well. The beast before you is unusually large, and its eyes especially angry. Its menacing grin might almost be taken for a smirk. Greetings, traveler. Before you draw your weapon, I wish to say I see no reason for feuding between us. We might even be of some use to each other. Wait, why is this wolf talking? Is it magical or something? I am no wolf, female. I am a warg. Surprising you could live to your age without learning the difference. Well, it's never too late to teach a lesson to an insolent two-legged morsel. The beast slowly licks its teeth. Who are you calling a morsel, you pelt? Amiri glares at the beast, her hand on her sword. We probably will end up attacking this thing, but let's make sure it deserves it first. You say we could be useful to each other? Bring me someone delicious. 3 or 4 bodies will be enough. And I, as a sign of gratitude, will tell you where an old traveler buried his chest. An old traveler, you say? A very old, lean, and flavorless traveler. The warg grins, almost smiling. No, I am not interested in this. Well, as you wish, but consider my offer. You may yet think of something. Who are you? You may call me Graruk. I've lived here far longer than the rulers of these foolish tribes. I have seen much and eaten many. What do you know of the war between the kobolds and mites? Only that my pack enjoys it. The warg snorts and licks his lips. Of course, I only eat fresh meat. Well, I think it's pretty obvious we're not going with the evil option. I'm not really crazy about going with the lawful option either, but it's better than just walking away. Your words will not save you, monster. Oh, he didn't like that. Looks like he had some packmates hiding in the bushes, too. This might actually end up being a pretty tough fight, so let's get some buffs up. Do I need to summon another herd, or... No, they're on their way. Oh, wow. Okay, we already lost Valerie. I may have underestimated how strong Graruk is. Okay, we've taken out most of his pack, but we've barely touched Graruk. Let's see if we can do something about that. I'm not sure if hideous laughter works on wargs, but it certainly couldn't hurt. Yeah, there we go. Now we've got it. Poor Valerie. She survived, but her pride was mortally wounded.
March on. Adventures await.
I wrote it like I saw it.
Starting to run a bit low on healing spells. We'll probably have to rest soon.
Make my own legend.
Don't hesitate. I'm listening.
Ooh, I think that's another Amulet of Natural Armor. It is. Nice. Okay, let's get that new amulet equipped. Again, I'm tempted to give it to Retcon, but there's probably someone else who can use it more. Like Harem. I'll probably end up giving him heavy armor proficiency once he hits level 5, but for now, that +1 natural armor bonus should help him last a little longer in combat. Now let's see if Graruk hit anything else around here.
It is done.
Just some low-end vendor trash. Better than nothing, I suppose. Of course, we'll probably never see that chest he was talking about. It's always a shame to miss out on treasure, but it's nice to see they gave evil characters some opportunities.
No stopping now.
We just need to finish exploring this little area here, then we can double back and check the hill next.
Follow me.
More giant death ponies. No, wait, that's a Megalosaurus. Huh. You know, I really wasn't expecting to run into this many extinct species. Well, might as well make sure it stays extinct. Oh, and we've got some pony-on-pony action over here. Which, actually sounds a bit more inappropriate than, never mind.
I won't give up.
Okay, that's one more fight under our belt. We've almost cleared the whole map at this point. I'm guessing that partially translated mobility check is just another shortcut. Yeah, it leads right back over to the trapped campsite. As usual, we'll just go the long way around.
You see that?
Onwards.
See, this is why I wanted to pump perception on so many of my party members. The developers put hidden loot caches all over the place. Who knows how many we've already missed?
No stopping now.
And there's another one. Whoa, hold up. Okay, that is a shambling mound. I think that might actually be a bit above our current pay grade. That thing is currently highlighted in yellow, which means it's basically an optional encounter. We should theoretically be able to avoid a fight with it, as long as we don't actually try to interact with it. We'll focus on exploring the area around it for now, but we'll defend ourselves if it comes after us.
It is done.
That looks promising. The body of a woman fouled beyond recognition. Her fingers still clench a torn leather leash. Really? Okay, so I guess she was taking her pet shambler for a walk. Ooh, +1 studded leather. Lindsay could use that. Lab journal. Went into the woods, found many roots, pine cones, flowers, and a dead squirrel. Scant little I can make of that. I must consider where I might gain rarer ingredients for my experiments. Some damnable raccoons got into the hut while I was exploring the woods, broke all the glassware. The only things left are 10 flat-bottom glass tubes, 5 round-bottom flasks, a couple porcelain mortars, 3 pestles, and the precious spiral. A good thing all the pots are still there. So many good chemicals wasted. Shame. Need to lock everything up in the closet. Tried to finish the experiment today, the one I started at the old lab. Used the lead powder from the master's box. At the crystallization stage, the liquid foamed, changed color, and formed a deposit. Another unsuccessful experiment, and I've all but exhausted my supply of essential materials. Caught a raccoon with a snare trap. Didn't get the bastard to the hut in time. Perhaps I should ask some hunters for help in catching experimental subjects. But I must save money, and besides, I see how those bumpkins scowl at me. As if I've grown horns. Third attempt at the crystallization experiment. Broke the last round bottom flask. I recall my tutor calling me ham-handed and making me clean up. Perhaps he was right. But he did teach me much, despite everything. But why didn't he wish me to develop my abilities? Didn't he want me to learn anything beyond the basic potion recipes? Kept saying I wasn't ready. But in truth, he feared the student surpassing the teacher, and for good reason. I shall prove this process works. I'll prove it to everyone. Today an old lady came from the nearby village, asking me to make her goats yield more milk. I had to help. I'm in desperate need of money. Oh, why must I spend my time so? Boring, boring, boring. Several pages remain empty, then the writings continue. Observation, Day 1. I finally got a chance I can't miss. I found a dying elf in the woods. She was barely breathing, and ants were swarming all over her. Who is she? What happened to her? It matters not. This is the opportunity I've been waiting for. With great effort, I managed to drag her to the hut, remove her clothes, and hide her behind the bags in the corner. Enough wasting my talents on trifles. It's time for action. Use the largest glass tube from the master's box, the one with the warning. In case of contact with skin, wash off immediately. Ha! The doddering parrot of all the standard warnings. I spread it evenly over her body and began my observations. Observation, Day 3. The subject has survived. Had to tie her up and gag her. The moaning could attract unwanted attention. Her skin is changing, but it's hard to determine the precise character of these changes. The early stages of festering, perhaps. The treated areas do smell faintly. Observation, Day 5. The changes continue faster and faster. The epidermis has festered away, the joints are grown swollen, tough, and calloused, and the subject has a fever. Observation, Day 9. Over the past few days, the subject's legs became covered with mildew and moss. Her fingers and toes grow long and crooked, as though she would grow into the ground? I shall move the subject outside. The experiment now demands sunlight. Observation, Day 13. The body's changes are so significant, it's impossible to recall the creature's original appearance from the way it looks now. A seething growth covers the whole body's surface. Every day I find new kinds of moss, mildew, grass, and other plants. The subject attempts to move. Had to immobilize her. I try to make contact, but she utters inarticulate sounds, alike to howling. Might intelligence be restored at a further stage of regeneration? Observation, Day 18. The subject has grown larger, several times. She is now strangely quiet these last few days. I'm beginning to worry. In the end, I see I've become attached to her. She will make me famous. Observation, Day 25. My living experiment shows all signs of obedience. She is much like a little tree, a magnificent walking tree. She is already 2.5 meters tall, and the child keeps growing. I wish to give her space, more fresh air and sunlight. I suspect we shall need some fertilizer. For now, I only walk her around the woods on a leash. This is the greatest achievement of my career. Soon we'll be ready for the journey to Absalom, and there I will present my masterpiece. I must think of a name for my girl. Okay, whatever happened to this alchemist, I'm gonna say she probably got what she had coming to her. That's a surprisingly grim origin story for a random wandering monster. It makes me wonder if we're really supposed to just fight this thing, or if maybe there's something more we can do with it. Though honestly, I'm not even sure how we'd approach trying to help this thing. I'll leave it alone for now and do a little research between episodes. If it turns out it's just a wandering monster, then sure, we'll try to kill it next time. But for now, let's just move on.
March on.
Oh, hey. That looks like the moon radishes we're looking for. There's a few kobolds here, but they don't really look like they're much of a threat at the moment. Maybe they won't mind if we help ourselves to a few of these radishes. Hiss hiss indeed. Well said. Oh, there we go. A kobold lying in the middle of the patch calls out to you. Judging by the sorry state of his scales, he is the eldest of the group. His red eyes squint from the light, and his throat struggles to form words. Our patch. Our celestial radish. Yick, radishes. We grew them back in my village. One day while I was reading a book, my pa grabbed it from me and threw it into fire. Then he made me go pick radishes. It was autumn, and the ground was wet and cold, and there were worms everywhere. Ugh, filthy roots. Thank you, Lindsay. That was both sad and completely irrelevant. It looks like we actually have a pretty good chance of stealing some radishes, which would be the chaotic thing to do, but let's explore some other options first. What are you doing here? Chew the radish. Search for secret truth. Small in big. The kobolds who are lying nearby answer with a devout murmur. At least, those who aren't sleeping. Huh. Little philosophers, aren't they? Wouldn't expect that. Wouldn't expect. Why don't you join the war against the mites? Might silly, but suit scale also. There are more important things in life. The kobold punctuates his words with a burp, and the others hiss in approval. Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that we could just walk away with some moon radishes and these guys wouldn't even notice. About that radish. The oldest kobold lifts his head and tries to focus his eyes on you. Alright, well, we've got some decent options here, but they're all tied to specific alignments. We still need to balance out that lawful action we took earlier, so we'll just stick with the chaotic option for now. I will feel bad if we have to kill these guys, but it's all down to a roll of the dice. Nice, there we go. Finding the right moment, you quietly leave the patch with a sizable bunch of radishes in your hands. The kobolds pay you no heed. Well, we got what we came for. Let's move on.
No stopping now. Onwards.
I wonder if we can take extra radishes. Nope, I guess not. Okay, we're pretty much done with the north side of the map, so now we just have to finish this corner down here. It'll take us a moment to get down there, so let's fast forward real quick. And we're back. Let's start tying up some loose ends. I've dealt with the wolf leader. Hooray! Great new! Mite and kobold keep lived together, no threat. Good for you. Maybe you grow up big hunter like us. Saying this, he gives you a small purse. That's a nice stack of gold and an even nicer stack of experience points. Not bad. Let's go check out that fallen tree next.
No stopping now.
Okay, this time we're going to hedge our bets by having Lindsay play her new Song of Competence. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? Wait. Okay, it looks like Lindsay failed the check by 7, but she shouldn't have been the one making the check in the first place. I'm pretty sure that Octavia has a higher mobility score. Yeah, Lindsay has a plus 10 bonus, but Octavia has a plus 12. So, she still would have failed, but she would have failed by a narrower margin. Oh, I know what happened. I didn't have the whole party selected. I only had Lindsay selected because I just had her perform that song. Okay, that was a stupid mistake, and that's all on me, but let's make sure we do it right this time. Lindsay will play the music, and Octavia will make the skill check. There we go. Hopefully this was all worth it.
What troubles you?
I'm not sure if I actually turned off the music or not. It really feels like they should make it a bit easier to tell when you've deactivated an ability. Wand of Lead Blades. I think that's the melee equivalent of Hurricane Bow. That might actually be useful. Okay, well, a few potions, an interesting wand, and some vendor trash. Not exactly worth all the damage we took, but at least we know now.
And Lindsay was called.
Oh, and it does look like Lindsay stopped performing. I guess that's just the lingering aura that's still surrounding us. That's going to take some getting used to. Oh, that reminds me. We never equipped that magic armor we found. There we go.
Onwards.
Okay, now, we're past the 40-minute mark at this point, so let's go check out that trapped campsite and then we'll call this an episode. I think we've actually made some pretty good progress today.
What's that?
Oh, and we've got another trap. Okay, here we go. Lindsay, cue up the music. Octavia, do what you can.
If they can't carry one.
That's one.
I wrote it like I saw it.
Let's make sure Octavia stays in Lindsay's aura. That's two. Just one more to go. Let's put Octavia in stealth, just in case.
Lindsay the Magnificent? Lindsay the Illustrious? Something more simple, like...
And we've got bodies. No, wait. Bandits.
Be indecisive.
Okay, we stumbled onto a small bandit camp. Well, that takes care of all their traps, so we've got the drop on them. Let's get a bit closer and see what we're dealing with. Ah, okay. They've got a bandit necromancer. That'll have to be our priority target.
Adventures call to them.
We don't have a lot of abilities left at this point, but let's work with what we've got to make sure we get through this in one piece.
Tire of waiting. I can't cast it like that.
Well,
We'll try to keep our fighters focused on their weaker members. Oh, and let's have Harem burn off that last bless spell. We can also have Octavia cast Enlarge Person.
Anything is possible.
Downed better ones.
So far so good, but we're still in round 1. Oh, and there goes most of Amiri's health.
I always survive.
Well, at least he's still alive. Okay, we got the halfling, but this guy with the greatsword is tearing us up. There we go. Okay, we've got this. Nice. Okay, let's regroup and see what that got us. Masterwork Greatsword. Masterwork Crossbow, too. Bracers of Armor. And a couple of Masterwork Daggers. These guys were definitely tougher than your average bandits.
No stopping now.
Looks like we're over-encumbered. That's fine. I'll take care of it between episodes. There's some +1 leather armor. Unfortunately, I don't think any of us actually need that. And we've got the usual assortment of food and vendor trash. That was a pretty tough fight, and we didn't get much we could use out of it, but at least we'll get a lot of gold.
It is done.
Anyway, we've finished exploring the surface level, and we're pretty much tapped out as far as abilities go. I think that brings us to a pretty good stopping point. I'll take care of our inventory between episodes, and we'll pick up here next time. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing the Pathfinder Kingmaker beta, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official YouTube channel, or the original crowdfunding campaign over on Kickstarter. Links are in the description.